Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Independent candidate Shah is vote count in Kathmandu. Shah is ahead of his rival Jestha by a margin of 700 votes. And caption of urges government to revoke its decision, says holiday for schools on Sunday is not practical. NOC hikes petrol fuel price by ₹10 per litre. Petrol to cost ₹170 per litre effective from today. Putin tells Finland it is a mistake to join NATO. Russia cuts gas supply to Finland. And Liverpool wins the FA Cup title. The Reds remain in hunt for a historic quadruple. And now the news in detail. Balendra Shah, an independent mayoral candidate in Kathmandu metropolitan city, has been leading the vote count with a margin of 700 votes. As per the latest update, Shah has garnered 1,587 votes against 887 votes of the nearest rival Jestha, who represents the CPN-UML party. Nepali Congress candidate Janata is third with 822 votes by the time this report was prepared. The vote count is underway at the City Hall in Kathmandu. So far, the Election Commission has completed counting 4,453 votes. The vote counting for the local level election held last Friday is underway across the country. The initial results of the vote count is not only interesting, but surprisingly independent candidates have been found leading most of the fronts. Major political parties are under pressure due to the unexpected lead of the independent candidates. The final results have been announced only in a few places so far, including 390 candidates being elected unopposed. There are reports of mismanagement in some stations where vote counting is being held. Vote counting is taking place at a slow pace in most of the places. Those eagerly waiting to hear the updates of vote countings have become restless due to the delay in providing information by the official. The Election Commission has claimed that it will complete vote counting in all the places within 5 days. The general public has complained of facing problems due to poor management in the local level elections. They have demanded the concerned authorities to make improvement in the upcoming election. The vote counting of the local level election is underway. Everyone is eagerly waiting to see who is leading the Kathmandu metropolitan city. The counting of votes of Kathmandu metropolitan city started at the City Hall from 10 a.m. on Saturday. Sri Janata of Nepali Congress, Jestha of CPN-UML, Madan Das Jestha of Raprapa and Samiksha Baskota of Vivek Saja party and Balendra Shah, an independent candidate contesting for the post of mayor. It is said that the result will be updated each hour from the City Hall. Similarly, Uday Ratna Kansakar, the party's presidential candidate of Unified Socialist Party Ward No. 2, who came to see the result of the City Hall, expressed dissatisfaction over the weak management of the local level election on Friday. He said that the physically challenged, the elderly and the sick faced various problems at the polling stations. He also stressed that such problems should not be repeated in the upcoming election. Haribhakta Shrestha, a local resident of Kathmandu metropolis, expects the winning representatives in the local level election not to make the same mistakes like that of leaders of the past. Vote counting of the local election is underway across the country. There is curiosity among the voters and the candidates about the result of the election. Geographical difficulty and remoteness are major hindrances for the delay in voting counting. But heavy power outage in middle of the vote counting in Lalitpur, one of the major metropolitan cities, a matter of shame. A report.
The local level election was conducted in peaceful manner despite some clashes in some local levels, whereas the vote counting of the country's second largest metropolitan city, Lalitpur, was found to be unplanned and unsystematic. The citizens have every right to be informed about the vote counting process once they cast their vote. There was a huge crowd in front of the main gate of the vote counting station from the morning. But due to the unplanned process, there was a delay in vote counting. There was no mechanism on site to inform the visitors about the vote counting results.
चाहिँ जाउलाखेलमै वर्ल्ड लिङ्क छ, बायोनेट छ, यत्रो यत्रो फाइबर अपलिङ्क गर्ने चाहिँ सङ्घ संस्थाहरू हुँदाखेरि पनि फ्रीमै मागे पनि दिन्थ्यो होला सायद निर्वाचन आयोगले चाहिँ नि यदि मागेको भए, तर आयोगले त्यति पनि व्यवस्थापन नगरेको पाइयो। डिस्प्लेमा सिधै फाइबर अपलिङ्क चाहिँ नि लिङ्क जोइन गरिदिएको भए, भित्रको सीसी क्यामेराबाट जोइन गरिदिएको भए सायद सम्पूर्ण जनताहरूले जाउलाखेलको ग्राउन्डमा बसेर लाइभ हेर्न पाउँथे होला, सम्पूर्ण पत्रकार साथीहरूलाई समाचार दिन सहज हुने थियो होला जस्तो लाग्छ। म्यानेजमेन्ट फितलो भएको पाइयो र यो डिजिटल प्रविधिको जमानामा पनि इलेक्ट्रोनिक्स डिभाइसबाट चाहिँ मेसिनबाट चाहिँ मतगणना नगरेको पाउँदाखेरि हामीले सोचेका थियौँ मतगणना अवश्य पनि मेसिनबाट हुन्छ होला, तर पुरानै ढर्रामा चाहिँ मतगणना भएको पाइयो।
The candidates themselves were dissatisfied regarding the vote counting process and arrangements of the Lalitpur metropolitan city. The observers appointed for the vote counting had a hard time because of suffocation following the power outage at the polling station.
एकजना गएर बस्नु भएको थियो, तर उहाँ सास फेर्नै मुस्किल भयो त्यहाँ। त्यति लाग्छ त्यो जेलमा राखेको कैदीलाई राखेको जस्तो अवस्था छ अरे त्यहाँ माथि। भनेपछि अब त्यहाँनिर कसरी चाहिँ नि मतगणना एकदम राम्रोसँग भइरहेछ भनेर कसरी हामीले चाहिँ नि एनालाइसिस गर्ने के त्यो कुरालाई। अनि त्यही भएर यो एकदम कसैलाई नै चित्त नबुझ्ने कुराहरू भइरहेछ। 50 वटामा नि लगभग 7 वटा जति चाहिँ नि उम्मेदवारै नउठेकोमा चिन्ह लागेर बदर भएको छ भन्ने पनि सुन्छु। कोलुमहरू मात्रै है, पुरै भोट होइन कि कोलुमहरू चाहिँ नि बदर भएको छ भने 7 वटा 50 वटा काउन्ट गर्दाखेरि 7 वटा भोट बदर हुनु भनेको एकदमै यो चाहिँ शिक्षाको कमी जस्तो लाग्यो।
However, the security aspect of the polling station was tight despite other flaws.
So मान्छेहरू त्यसमा कुनै विवादलाई लिएर त्यसमा चाहिँ उत्तेजित नहुन् भन्ने किसिमले हामी त्यसमा सायद किन मोनिटरिङ गरेर राखिराखेका छौं र अहिलेसम्म त्यस्तो कुनै विषय इस्यु भए त्यस्तो उत्तेजित हुने हो त्यो इस्युहरू कुनै पनि छैन र हामीले त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रा सादा पोसाकका प्रहरी कर्मचारीहरू पनि परिचालन गरेका छौं बाहिर। त्यो अनुसार हाम्रो कुनै इन्फर्मेसन आयो भने त्यो इन्फर्मेसनलाई हामीले त्यसलाई कुनै विषय विवादको विषय या कुनै त्यस्तो इस्यु आयो भने त्यसलाई समयमै हल गर्ने हामीले प्रयास गरिरहेका छौं। सम्बन्धित मुख्य निर्वाचन अधिकृतको कार्यालयमा मुख्य निर्वाचन अधिकृतज्यूलाई पुर्याएर र जो त्यसको इस्यु समाधान गर्न सक्छ त्यसलाई पुर्याएर त्यस इस्युहरू समाधान गर्ने र मतगणनामा कुनै किसिमको अवरोध नआओस् भनेर हामी सचेत छौं।
It is the responsibility of the Election Commission to make proper arrangements of vote counting station. Election Commission has to be responsible in removing such hurdles in the voting stations and have to work further to make the vote counting transparent.
This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 2 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 400 after 456 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 987,991 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 966,857 people have already recovered. No new death from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from the virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 64 countries affected by coronavirus. USA tops the list with 84.20 million cases, followed by India with 43.12 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 520.81 million people worldwide and has claimed over 6.28 million lives. National PAPSON, a non-profit making organization of private schools in the country, has appealed to the government to revoke the decision to give 2 days of holiday in a week on Saturday and Sunday for schools. The incumbent government has decided to provide 2 days of public holiday in a week effective from May 15. And PAPSON, issuing a press statement yesterday, requested the government to reconsider the decision, arguing that the regular teaching learning activities were adversely affected for nearly 2 years due to COVID-19 pandemic. It is of the view that the provision of 2 days of holiday in a week would further affect the teaching learning activities and urged not to take any decisions that would make adverse impact in the long run. Furthermore, and Papson expressed its grievance for taking the decision unilaterally and urged to withdraw the decision, claiming that it would have adverse impact on annual working day and working hours of the schools, as well as such decision would put undue pressure on parents, teachers and students. And now the news from economic front. Nepal Oil Corporation, a state-owned trading enterprise that imports, stores and distributes petroleum products, has hiked the price of petroleum products by Rs 10 per litre. According to the NOC, the decision has come into effect from Saturday midnight. As per the adjusted price, petrol is being sold for Rs 170 per litre and diesel and kerosene for Rs 153 per litre each. However, the price of cooking gas and aviation fuel has remained unchanged. The NOC claimed in a statement has been incurring a loss of Rs 23.2 in a litre of petrol, Rs 40.13 in diesel and Rs 1050.8 in each LP gas cylinder. According to the statement issued on Saturday, NOC said it, however, has been making a profit of Rs 2.81 in a litre of kerosene and Rs 12.64 and Rs 64.69 respectively in domestic and international aviation fuel. The total loss the corporation stands at around Rs 5.1 billion every fortnight. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has told his Finnish counterpart that joining NATO would be a mistake, and Moscow cut off its electricity supply to the Nordic country earlier in what is seen as retaliation for Helsinki's moves. Putin stressed that the end of the traditional policy of military neutrality would be a mistake since there is no threat to Finland's security, the Kremlin said in a statement on Saturday. Such a change in the country's political orientation can have a negative impact on Russian-Finnish relations developed over years in a spirit of good neighborliness and cooperation between partners, it said. The phone call, which was initiated by Finland, was direct and straightforward, and it was conducted without aggravation, as reported by Al Jazeera. Moscow's February 24 invasion of Ukraine has swung political and public opinion in Finland and neighboring Sweden in favor of NATO membership as a deterrent against Russian aggression. Moscow has said that it would definitely see Finnish membership as a threat, warning that it would be faced to take reciprocal steps, military, technical and other, to address the resulting threats. Russian troops were withdrawing from around Ukraine's second-largest city after bombarding it for weeks, the Ukrainian military said Saturday, as Kiev and Moscow's forces engaged in a grinding battle for the country's eastern industrial heartland. Ukraine's general staff said the Russian forces were pulling back from the northern city of Kharkiv and focusing on guarding supply routes while launching mortar, artillery and airstrikes in the eastern province of Donetsk as ordered to deplete Ukrainian forces and destroy fortifications. Defense Minister Oleksiy Rezhenskov said Ukraine was entering a new long-term phase of a war after failing to capture Kiev following the February 24 invasion. Russian President Vladimir Putin has shifted his focus eastward to the Donbas and industrial region where Ukraine was battled Moscow-backed separatists since 2014. The offensive aims to encircle Ukraine's most experienced and best equipped troops, has deployed with the east and to seize parts of the Donbas that remains in Ukraine's control. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Liverpool remain in the hunt for the historic quadruple after winning the FA Cup following another Wembley penalty shootout against Chelsea. Jurgen Klopp's side repeated their Carabao Cup final victory in February, the decisive moment coming when Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson saved Mason Mount's spot kick, leaving Costas Tsimikas to secure Liverpool's second trophy of the season. The Reds are still in the Premier League title race and have the Champions League final to come against Real Madrid. Liverpool had the better of the eventful final with the outstanding Luis Diaz and Andrew Robertson hitting the woodwork, although it may come with at price, with Mohamed Salah going off injured in the first half and Virgil van Dijk going off after 90 minutes. It is a devastating blow for Chelsea and manager Thomas Tuchel to lose in the manner yet again, as they had chances with Marcos and Alonso hitting the post and also being denied by Alisson, but became the first side to lose three successive FA Cup finals. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Independent candidate Shah leads vote count in Kathmandu, size ahead of its rival Yusuf Sabit by margin of 700 votes. And Pepson urges government to revoke its decision, says holiday for schools on Sunday is not practical. NOC hikes petrol fuel price 70 cents per litre. Petrol to cost rupees 170 per litre effective from today. Putin tells Finland it is a mistake to join NATO. Russia cuts gas supply to Finland. And Liverpool wins FA Cup title. The Reds remain in hunt for the historic quadruple. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.